The Aloha State has been devastated by a series of Kona lows, causing major flooding and damage. The worst flooding the state has seen in nearly 2 decades. Rescue efforts underway with help from the Hawaii National Guard and the Coast Guard. Military and first responders have rescued over 200 people since Friday through their rescue missions. Brigadier General Philip Mallory from the Hawaii National Guard joins us now with more on the operations. General, thank you so much for the time. Talk to us just about what you and the team have been up to. I mean, it has just been an incredible stretch. The first time you're on the ground here with the National Guard, what has it been like?
Well, good morning, Jane. Thanks for having me. It's been intense, to say the least. Probably the most amount of rainfall we've had in at least 75 years over the last 2 weeks. So this weekend in particular was the second Kona low. And starting off on last Friday, we deployed some high water vehicles and were able to rescue about 91 people on the ground, 74 from the floodwaters themselves. And then the clips you showed of the helicopters and what's airing right now, that was about 47 passengers and also 2 dogs that we were able to assist.
Wow, what's the sentiment of these people when they see you and the crew come into town, right? I mean, I'm sure there's so much relief.
Definitely some relief, and our soldiers and airmen are excited to help the community. But I do want to emphasize that it's a collaborative approach, and the Hawaii National Guard is just one of the layers. It starts off in the community with neighbors being good neighbors, showing the Aloha spirit, and then our leadership at the city and county level, as well as the Governor Green, with his leadership. It's a collaborative approach, and the Hawaii National Guard is just proud to assist.
What was that approach look like, right? When you're in coordination, obviously of the National Guard, but there's also those local emergency agencies in disasters like this. You know, how does that call to action get started and then continue to completion?
Sure. So on scene, there's an incident commander. And then what the Hawaii National Guard does is we'll have a liaison that's with the incident commander. And then that incident commander, in this case, if we're talking about Oahu, is working with the Department of Emergency Management of the city and county. And we have a liaison officer there as well. When the disaster exceeds the capabilities that they have locally, they will put in a request for assistance to our Hawaii Emergency Agency, which then will be tasked to the National Guard. And then one thing to keep in mind is the National Guard is predominantly a part-time force. So we're pulling people in from their local civilian jobs, putting them on state active duty, and then they're answering the call and going out, just as you're seeing in the videos that you're showing.
It's just incredible. You mentioned, just last Friday, 91 people being rescued, over 200 across the state. Can you walk us through how you prepare for situations like this? I mean, there's a difference. I think back to Lahaina and Maui and the fires, right? There was so much to prepare for there, but this, you go from fire to now flooding and disastrous flooding, something that Hawaii hasn't seen in over 2 decades.
Well, first of all, the motto of the National Guard is always ready, always there. We do have a federal mission that we train to routinely. You'll always hear the 2 days a month, 2 weeks a year. But with those skills and the equipment that we have, we can then apply that to a domestic disaster. And so really the training that we get through the course of training for the federal mission then applies to us helping out for the state. We also hold many exercises throughout the year to practice our hurricane response and then apply that, in this case, to a situation where there's extensive flooding.
Absolutely. I know you've had a number of high water rescue vehicles, things like that have been deployed. Brigadier General, what are the next steps? As we look, here we are today on Wednesday, operations still underway. How are we moving forward?
Yep, so the next steps, we're obviously transitioning to a recovery phase. And actually, just yesterday, the Big Island was still in a flood watch. So we're still assessing some of the damage in Maui County and Hawaii County. But here on Oahu, what we have are 2 teams that we're calling dismounted debris clearance teams, and they are going through to help pick up a lot of the debris that's still left from the storm. We've also deployed some water buffaloes, 400 and 800 gallon tanks of water to the schools on the North Shore, so that the children can still go to school, and then water left over at the end of the day, the community can use that as well. Those are just a couple of things, and we're expecting some other requests for assistance from the county as we move forward into the recovery phase, because it is going to take a long time. The governor has estimated that just the first Kona low was over $400 million worth of damage, and with this second rendition of the storm likely exceeding $1 billion.
How long do you think you guys could be on the ground for? Is there any type of timetable for what those recovery efforts could look like, having the National Guard deployed?
It would be unfair for me to guess. I think it's going to take a long time to recover, but the National Guard will be here as long as we're required.
Absolutely. And my last question for you, just on a personal note, what has this been like for you, in Hawaii, and seeing just the devastation and the vast flooding that has impacted these communities?
I think I'll have a better answer once we've fully recovered. Right now, just focused on the mission and providing the assistance where we can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for giving us these updates. It's certainly important that we get the information out to the public and know that help is there for them as they continue in these recoveries. So we wish you the best with your operations. That is Brigadier General Philip Mallory with the Hawaii National Guard. Thank you.
Aloha. Thank you.